Did you know that the food bank of Contra, Costa, and Solano started in 1975 by delivering baked goods? It's been almost 50 years, and the food bank is still working to meet the growing needs of our counties. Hi Cassidy, thanks for sitting down with me today and telling me more about the food bank of Contra Costa and Solano County. I really appreciate your time. So the food bank of Contra Costa and Solano, which we're in right now, how did it start? Like, what is the history behind the food bank?
The food bank had very humble beginnings around 1975 with just a few staff members who were based out of Martinez here in California, delivering baked goods and bread around the community. That has now grown over the past 45 years to what we know now today to be the food bank of Contra Costa and Solano.
So I always thought that the food bank was something that was like county run, that was a national like chain, if you will. But you're telling me that all the food banks are individually owned and operated?
Yes, so at least for our food bank, we are a member of the Feeding America network, and Feeding America is a hunger relief organization nationwide that provides support and programming and resources to food banks. But all these food banks in all these different states and regions are individually operated in terms of funding and infrastructure.
Got it. So as such, you kind of all probably offer different services based on where you're located and what the needs are?
It is, from my experience, a very collaborative network. So all of these food banks have very similar and shared missions and goals of wanting to help end hunger in their community. Therefore, with that shared goal, we want to be good partners and share information and best practices and lessons learned. But when it comes to actually our operations, we're meeting the individual needs of our region, and that does look different in every city, county, state, part of the nation, so on and so forth. We don't collect any client data, but when we do look at how many meals or food boxes we are distributing, right now it's over 300,000 a month, and it's been that way through the holidays. So just to put that into context, before the COVID-19 pandemic, we were serving about 178,000 people monthly. So we've seen at least 100,000 a month increase every single month since the onset of the pandemic, so coming up on 3 years. And even throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, our peak only reached 300,000 individuals served monthly, about 3 times throughout the whole pandemic. But that's become our new normal the last few months through the holidays and now in the new year. So the food bank, we're seeing more individuals experiencing food insecurity and needing to access our services. At the same time, our cost of providing this food to our community is at a higher rate than ever, with higher food purchasing prices, gas, and it's just the perfect storm.
So tell me about you, like how did you end up with the food bank here? What is your background? What's your day like?
I started with the food bank in 2019, and so I've been here about 3.5 years at this point. I had about 6 months under my belt before the pandemic started. And I think that was really helpful because I was able to see how this larger food bank network, how our food bank operated before COVID, how we advocated for policies, how we interacted with our clients, our elected officials, our donors before COVID, and then really how everything changed. And I think something we've tried to take out of this as a whole organization is what went really well before the pandemic, what has gone even better, changes we've had to make, what are some lessons learned, best practices that we can take with us as we hopefully move out of this. I went to school for law and public policy. I think that policy is a way that we can create effective long-term change that really hopefully attacks the root of the issue at hand. I was so passionate about coming into an organization that was mission-driven because I saw the opportunity to partner with those who are impacted by the work we're doing. We're able to partner with our neighbors who are utilizing the food bank throughout our entire advocacy process, and that's specifically the role I have, is focused on our advocacy. And we do that through working with our elected officials and our community members on the local, state, and national levels, and really advocating for legislation and funding that helps us meet our mission of ending hunger in our community.
Wow, that's so important. Are you the only person at this location who does that?
We have an advocacy team.
Okay,
it is
good.
a team of 2.
Okay.
So it's a smaller team, but we're so fortunate to work with about 15 community advocates.
Oh, good.
We have a program that runs every year called the Speaker Series, where we recruit and train advocates from all over Contra Costa and Solano County who have lived experience of food insecurity or work in the anti-poverty space and are just really passionate about our mission. And we help them understand how their personal lived experience can be part of the legislative process. So we have about 15 of those advocates right now who are trained, they're really engaged, and work alongside us in every aspect of our policy process.
That's really interesting because they can bring that kind of human element to the whole. We need money, but this is why we need money, and these are the issues that we're facing. So you guys are located right in Fairfield, where the Solano County seat is. So do you work with the county, and how so?
We do work with Solano County in a few different ways. So for example, with our CalFresh outreach team, that's a dedicated team we have internally at the food bank, dedicated to helping assess and work with clients who might be eligible to receive food assistance benefits. We help screen clients if they may be eligible, refer them to the county, and then we can even support those clients through the application process. So that's a big way we work with our county. Also, when it comes to food sourcing and food purchasing, this year, one of our biggest initiatives is to ensure that we're buying our produce locally sourced. So we've worked with the county to ensure that we are contacting those who are food producers, farmers, ranchers here in Solano County.
Wow, I really love that because it supports local and what we have here in our county. It's amazing. So tell me about some of the programs that you guys offer, some of the resources that you have here at the food bank.
So the food bank offers programs 7 days a week, 365 days a year. These programs are intended to serve different populations who are experiencing food insecurity in our region. Some are more targeted at school-age children, seniors, the unhoused population. In all of these distributions, we aim for at least 50% of what we distribute to be fresh produce, so fruits and vegetables. And we've also been deemed the West Coast Disaster Hub by Feeding America. And so in times of disaster, whether those are wildfires, flooding, public health emergencies, whatever it might be, we're here to not only offer support and leadership through just our 2-county service area, but also for the entire West Coast.
Wow, that's a huge resource. I love that you guys are working with different groups. So if someone who's, say, unhoused needs food, can they just come to the food bank? Like, how do they go about getting food?
So what we typically do is refer individuals to our website. Our website has in real time all of the distributions. You can filter it by your city or your zip code or the type of distribution you're looking for. We have direct distributions. That's one of the 2 ways we get food out to our clients. Nice. Those take place all throughout our 2-county service area, throughout different times and dates.
Gotcha.
But we also get food out through our agency partners. So we have a network of over 260 other nonprofits that we work with throughout Contra Costa and Solano counties. And we will provide food to those agencies, and then those agencies distribute that food directly to the clients they serve. So those are the 2 main ways.
Wow, so wonderful. So on the website, they can kind of look and see like what the dates would be and the locations if they needed to get something. With Bay Area food prices up 11%, more residents are turning to the food bank to help stretch their food budget. Today, 1 in 6 residents of Contra Costa and Solano counties relies on the food bank for groceries or meals. So I saw on the website that it said like 1 in 6 residents are served. Is that a national number or is that a county number?
That's here. That's
Wow.
here in our community. And a quarter of those that we serve are children. I think that surprises a lot of individuals to think that a quarter of all food bank recipients are school-age children. We've also seen a really dramatic increase in the senior population over the last few years. I think with the long-term impacts of the pandemic, higher gas prices, inflation, and really food items being inflated at a higher level than the standard rate of inflation, many of our seniors who may be on a fixed income are having to make tough choices of what bills and necessities can they provide for themselves. So we've seen an increase all around.
Wow, I can just imagine, I mean, with the prices of food now, but I do love the fact that you don't necessarily have to qualify for a program to get food. You can still access food just for people who might need just a little help one month with their groceries or getting produce or anything like that. For the price of 1 cup of coffee, you could literally provide 10 meals to your neighbors. The food bank can double your donation with their bulk purchasing power. Want to volunteer instead? There are several opportunities available. What can the average person do if they want to donate, if they want to help out? What can they do?
So if there are individuals in our community who are in a position to give back, there are a few ways to do that. If you are in a position to volunteer your time, we always are looking for volunteers. So we have volunteer opportunities always in live time on our website of what's available, either at our warehouse in Concord or our warehouse here in Fairfield. We also have exciting volunteer opportunities out in the field. So if you wanted to help run one of our drive-through distributions where you're actually giving the food boxes to community recipients, those are options too. And then for those who are able to support monetarily, that is a way we are able to really stretch donations as far as possible. The food bank has a really incredible purchasing power. So for every $1 donated to the food bank, we're able to provide at least 2 meals with that $1 to our community. So monetary donations go really far based on our purchasing power and ability to really purchase in bulk.
Wow, so instead of giving $5 to a person, I could provide meals for 10 people if I were to donate it here.
Yeah, $5 would be enough for 10 meals here. And I think that's what you're getting at is really what the food bank is trying to do. We're trying to help those who are food insecure right now, today, providing food through all of our distributions and our partner agencies. And simultaneously, we're also hoping to be part of the long-term solution, identifying why are individuals food insecure here in Contra, Costa, and Solano County, what's causing it, and how through policy, community engagement, partnerships, how can we really help end those circumstances that are perpetuating food insecure so that hopefully we don't have 300,000 individuals needing to access the food bank every single month. So we're trying to look at the immediate and short-term needs and also the long-term objectives.
Do you have a greater need in one program right now than another, or in one area than another?
Yeah, so specifically for volunteers, we have a need for volunteers here at this Fairfield warehouse. We tend to have more of a demand here for our volunteer shifts. And so for anyone who is looking to volunteer and local to Solano County, our website has all of those opportunities to volunteer.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for talking to me today about this. It's super important, I think, for people in our community to know that there is a place where they can come, where they can really make a difference by volunteering, where their dollars will really be stretched if they want to help in any way. I mean, I know it's difficult, right now for a lot of people, maybe monetarily, but if you have some time, it's a great way to volunteer as a family or as an organization. Something that I definitely need to look into doing more often. I know I've looked at the website a few times, but I really need to make that commitment to come and volunteer more. So I appreciate your time today. Thanks, Cassidy.
Thank you for the opportunity and for sharing about what we do.
Sure. For more information about the Food Bank of Contra Costa and Solano, distribution times and locations, or volunteer openings, visit www.foodbankccs.org.
To view more programs like this, follow the City of Fairfield on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.